Hi, and welcome to our Wellbeing Workshop. It's so great to see you here. The very fact that you guys woke up and chose to help yourself and understand your mental health today, we're really proud of you for that. And we would love to see more and more people show up for their own mental health. And we hope that you get to learn a little bit about how to take care of yourself. So, welcome. I'm Priyanka, and I am a co-founder of Firefly along with Shriya. I have done my bachelor's in sociology and master's in psychology and another master in counseling. And I'm really thrilled to share about mental health and everything I learned in all of my education. So welcome.
Hi, I'm Shriya Srivatsan. I did sociology as well, and I went on to study neuro-linguistic programming. And I'm currently finishing off my master's in psychology. I'm so excited you guys are here, honestly. And before we get started, I just want you guys to relax, take a breath, and just whatever pops in your mind, let me know, okay? When I say the word mental health. So when I say the word mental health, what is the first thing, what is the first thought that comes in your mind? You can just put it in the chat box below. Okay, someone said peace.
Anxiety, depression,
Yeah.
stress.
It's a lot of things. Okay. So the first thing that comes in your mind when you say mental health.
Hope.
Yes, hope, please.
All right, great. So we had a lot of words for mental health that came up, and this is usually surrounding what we've heard from others about what mental health is, what media portrays mental health to be. And we saw that a lot of positive words came, but a lot of negative words related to mental health came as well, especially related to the illness of mental health. But before we go on to talk to you about what mental health is, when you think of the word healthy, let's say you are walking by and you see someone, for you to consider them healthy, what are the criteria? Smiling.
Energetic. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interactive.
Extrovert. Okay.
Extrovert.
They look like they're having fun. Mm-hmm.
Slim. Okay, someone said slim.
That's interesting. So we can see that there are a lot of words for healthy, which is just pertaining to how we feel like when we look at someone, and many of these are conventional ways in which we measure health as well. Like, for example, slim has, for centuries been what we consider a healthy person, but in reality, we don't know what goes on in the inside, which is the exact same thing with the other adjectives as well. So if it's looking at someone who's smiling, someone who's energetic, we automatically assume they're mentally healthy as well. In reality, a lot of people do not portray their mental health or mental illnesses outside. And even if they're healthy on the inside, it does not show on the outside as well. So when we think of the term mental health, it's not just about the kind of diseases that we spoke about, depression, anxiety, stress. And it's not just about the absence of that. So to consider someone healthy, physically healthy, we never said someone without cancer, someone without heart attack. We used adjectives to describe their function, someone who's energetic, someone who's an extrovert. So we spoke about how they function well in society. And mental health is the exact same way. In fact, WHO spoke about mental health and defined it as a state of well-being where an individual realizes their ability to cope with the normal stressors and work productively to make a contribution to their community. So as you can see, it doesn't just talk about someone who's mentally healthy just does not have mental illnesses. It's not just about absence of illness, but the presence of a lot of skills that helps us function in society. So our ability, our resilience, our productivity, and our ability to contribute to society as well. So when you talk about mental health, you need to talk about just the way in which you can thrive and function as an individual and reach your absolute potential. So hopefully today's workshop is a start to which you understand what your mental health is, and your abilities are, and how you can begin to take care of yourself in a way in which you enjoy your life and not just exist without mental illness. So mental health is your invisible health, and it is really, really important. And it's not just invisible to others, but it has been invisible to yourself as well. So let's check in with ourselves and begin to learn.
So now that we learned it's also about coping with our stressors, can we just say, hey, I don't want any more stress in my life. I don't want any situation to give me any more stress. We can't, right? There's family pressure, there's work pressure, there's so many things going on every single day in our life that might trigger us in some way, that might get some type of emotion out. So the only thing we can actually control is our reactions to the events that are happening. Let's just take a very simple example. Let's say you're at work and you see your colleague and you say, hey, hi, but they don't notice you, they just walk away. At this point of time, you might start thinking, saying, hey, oh, did I not give that email I was supposed to do? Did I do something bad? Was my presentation wrong? Did I not speak to them the other day? What is happening? And it might be very internal. You might start judging yourself. You might start feeling unloved. This, all these feelings that come out, oh, I'm unwanted, I'm unloved, nobody cares for me, nobody listens to me, nobody acknowledges me. All that starts playing out. You're not concentrating on your lunch, you're not concentrating on your work, and the entire day is just you figuring this out. You're stressing out. Okay. One more way of viewing this is maybe they have their earphones on. Maybe they were, practicing for a presentation in their head. Maybe their boss called them. Maybe they have stressors from their family. So many things can be going on with them for them to react that way with us. Maybe they didn't even notice us. So in both these situations, your entire physical and mental state are completely different, right? In one, you're calm, and the other one, you're just so anxious, you're frustrated, you're irritated. So what happens is it's the same life event. It's just your reaction to it. So one negative thought that, oh, maybe, they don't like me, triggered an entire rabbit hole with all your emotions coming out. So over here, the only thing that we can control is how we acknowledge, how we react to our thoughts, right? How we react to our thoughts also decides our behavior, our functioning of the entire day. So how do we cope up with those stressors? So now we learn a few tools to help us do that.
So as you can see, we often stress out the things that aren't within our control while ignoring the things that are within our control. And most of the time, if we're able to manage our emotions around the things that are within our control, we'll be able to lead a stress-free life. So we're going to give you some tips on how to handle all the things that are within your control. The first technique is called sit with it. Now imagine all the problems that you have in your life are this heavy book. It is one of our book, but imagine it is a heavy book and you are holding it because this is something that you're dealing with. And if you're really focused on all the problems that you have going on, that's all you can see right now. You have it right in front of you, it hides your vision, and that's all you're able to see. And whatever is around you is life that goes on. It's your workplace, it's interacting with people, it's relaxation time, it's getting in touch with yourself. All the other things that make your life worth living, that gives your life quality, you're not able to pay attention to it because all you can see right now is your problems. And when I keep this around me, I'm ignoring the quality of life that I can receive just because I'm over focused. But let's say for now, I don't want to focus on my problems. It exists, but I keep it far away from me and I don't pay attention to it at all. So I'm keeping it here and I'm paying attention to my life as it is, ignoring the fact that I have problems, ignoring the fact that I need to deal with them. And it's right there, and I'm interacting at workplace, I'm going about my day, I'm trying to function normally. And how long do you think I can hold on to this heavy book for before my arm starts hurting? Now, imagine if the problems don't hide my vision, the problems don't cause me strain, and I just keep that on my lap. I know that they exist, but at the same time, I'm not completely paying attention to them in a way that I ignore the rest of my life. And I'm not letting them get to me to a point where my arm hurts and I have no choice but to pay attention to them. The same way, when we deal with our problems, we tend to be over focused on it to a point where we ignore the rest of our life. And if we ignore it, if we ignore the problem completely, our arm starts hurting, meaning the rest of our life gets affected to a point where we have no choice but to focus on our problems, which seem bigger than the initial weight of the book. So that's when sit with it comes, where you simply acknowledge that your problems exist, put them on your lap, know that they exist, and find out a time for you to focus on them in a way where you're still functioning with your day-to-day life, but at the same time not ignoring your problems. All of this seems great in theory, right? Okay, I know my problems exist and I'll find a way to deal with them. Let's look at a way in which we actually get to the problems that are sitting on our lap. We're not going to ignore them. We're not going to just travel with our problems. We eventually have to get to them. How do we get to them in a way in which I actually solve them rather than travel with them? Let's look at that.
So throughout the day, we have so many thoughts in our head, right? From the time we wake up till the time we go to sleep, or even when we're trying to go to sleep, we have so many thoughts. And these thoughts also trigger a lot of emotions in us. They might even lead us to a rabbit hole. So how do we keep our focus on track? How do we keep going through our day while dealing with all these thoughts as well? So, like what Priyanka said, you can't just like keep denying them and say, no, 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 I'll just handle you later, I'll handle you later, till it, comes up so big that you have to handle it immediately and it, clashes with your everyday schedule as well. And you can also only focus on that, right? Because then it's going to go into a rabbit hole and then you're not going to be able to do anything else. So what you can do is you can label and tag your thoughts each time you get a thought. So let's say you're working on something and at that point of time, you're like, let's go back to the example that we were giving before, why you say hi to your colleague and, you're thinking all those thoughts, okay? So it's the next day and you're just working. And now you're getting the thought that, oh my God, are we even going to remain friends? Like, what do I do? That's a future thought. So just label it saying future. Okay. Over here, you're acknowledging it. You're not dismissing it. You're not distracting yourself. You're saying, yes, I have this thought. It's the thought of a future. Okay. You're labeling it. Then you go throughout your day. Then you might have thoughts of the past as well. You might have thoughts that, why you feel different types of emotions. If you're able to identify that emotion, great. You can always label it with the emotion as well. There is one more thing that is really important. This is called resistance. Okay, when there are things happening which is out of your control and you try resisting it, that is when you get a lot of frustration, lot of stress, lot of anxiety. All of that comes about when you try controlling something that's not even in your control. So that is resistance. Okay, so let's say there's something happening in your life that you don't want to confront and you say, no, 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 that can't happen, I have to change it, even though you can't. You're resisting it and you might have a lot of thoughts like this, like, oh, how can they do that? They can't do that. I won't let them do that. Things like that, you just label it saying resistance, resistance, resistance. And one more important thing is judgment. So when you see a colleague doing something, they're like, how can they even do that? Like, what is wrong with them? Or like, I would never do that. All that is judgments. So just label your thought. Don't go too much inside it. Don't delve into it. Just label it. And then you can always say, hey, for the other technique, sit with it. Let's say you're doing it from 5 to 6 p.m. every day. Every time these thoughts come about, you say, I will deal with you 5 to 6 today. I will confront these thoughts 5 to 6 today. So what you're doing at that point of time is throughout the day, you're not dwelling on it, but you're saying, I am acknowledging you. I am labeling you. So I am actually doing something about it. And I will address all of this from that time. So you're giving it space to come back at that 1 hour where you're actually going to sit with yourself and process it rather than trying to, dismiss it or process it throughout the day, which is not it's not going to work out for us, right? So this is a very, very good technique that you can use. And we will delve more into this in another YouTube video as well. But for now, this is what you can do every single day. Every time a thought comes up, just say past, present, future. That's judgment. That is resistance. I will deal with this at this point of time. And then you deal with it at that point of time. You sit with it, you acknowledge it, and you process it.
That's really interesting because we don't look at processing emotion as a scheduled activity, but I know it can be really helpful because more often than not, we ignore all of our emotion, and just before we go to sleep, all these emotions come. And what we are essentially doing is saying that, okay, I know you're coming to me right now, and I'm going to process you at this time. So that's a really great technique. And when we go through all of these emotions that actually come to us, how do I deal with it? Now we're saying, okay, I will deal with you later. But at that moment, if I'm feeling really anxious, if I feel like I can't function without it, then the next thing to do would be to journal it. That is a really great way in which you can process your thought, and we release it from your mind, because it can be very, very cluttered. All those thoughts that go through your mind, it can be hard to concentrate on your day-to-day life as well. One way to do that is through our Who Am I journal, specifically because it was designed to deal with all the kind of thoughts that go in your mind. There are sections that deal with thoughts regarding yourself, regarding your relationship, regarding your career and future, regarding your family life, regarding your hopes and dreams, and very, very difficult questions that you want to ask yourself. So we've segregated it based on our understanding of people from all the clients we've had so far, and what kind of thought process will guide them towards clarity. So if you get your hands on Who Am I journal, this could really, really help you. But if you cannot get it, I guess the second best option would be to take out your journal and start pouring down your thought. And what you essentially do is you unwind your thoughts and make them into straight lines, so that you at least know, okay, these are the thoughts that are going on in my mind right now, and it's not just a clutter. So journaling helps you declutter your mind, and that's a really great way to go. Apart from journaling, how to deal with all your emotions that go on inside, especially anxiety, is even through simple activities that you have on your day-to-day basis. Engaging in creative activities like painting, dancing, music, singing out loud, moving your body, all of that has seen to be greatly recommended for your stressful and anxious feelings, because it helps you get rid of them from stored energy in your body, and it helps regulate your emotion. It also helps you divert your attention from really, really anxious negative loops into more creative energies that helps you calm down. And once you're at a stable level, and a more natural state of mind, when you look at the problem again, you'll be in your better focus and concentration to actually come up with a solution. Because when your mind is cluttered, solution is very far away, and effective solution is even further away. So engaging in activities like that really help. And please do not dismiss the power of just walking among nature, or even if you have like a stressful exam to study for, or you're having a particularly difficult day at work, sitting by the window or working when you're surrounded by nature, or putting on music or sounds of nature can be greatly helpful as well. And of course, play with your pets, read books, anything that helps calm your body down before you deal with your thoughts. So that's a great way to go. Now that we put all of this, I want you guys to talk about how you'll start taking care of yourself. And Shriya, do you want to tell them about how it's not just a plan that we make? Why do you think it's different to ask ourselves this question?
Yeah. So, what happens is we go through a lot of self-help books, right? We go through these types of workshops, we get like a lot of information. We say, you know what, I'm going to start journaling from today. But that doesn't happen. So you try the next day, and then the next day, and then you say, yeah, it's been 2 days, I haven't done it. So let me just do it next week. It's just not the proper time. Or you wait, you say, no, it is 10:28. I will start at 10:30, and then you miss out 10:30 also. So it's really, really important to actually structure this. Okay. It's a practice you're doing for yourself. And it's not something that's like, it's not a habit for us. It's not easy for us to do this. So start writing down saying how I take care of myself. Take only 2 points from this entire presentation. Just take 2 points. Let's say maybe if you're taking up journaling, just say from 5 o'clock to 5:30 every day I'll journal, no matter where I am. I can journal on my phone. I can even put down notes, and then I can write it more later. There are many things that you can do, but structure it in such a way that you will be committed to it every day. Just think of it as, when you're going to the gym, you won't wake up the day and then be like, oh, maybe I should have gone 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., but I woke up at 10. You won't do that. You'll have that commitment, right? You'll have like a trainer in the gym, or you'll have somebody, saying, hey, you need to come at this point of time. So just like that, do it for your self-help as well, because self-help is a habit that you should cultivate for your progress, like for your mind to be better. So right now, just take 2 minutes and write down the things that you will do from today, and we will read it out. We'll see what you guys are up to.
I want to make a commitment to myself. I have been pushing away writing on my journal for the longest time. So I'm going to start writing on the Who Am I every day before I go to bed.
Okay, 1 page,
so
2 pages.
I'll start with 1 page a day, but when I did this, I really want to do one more question. So I guess 1 to 2 questions a day, just before I go to bed. It's a commitment I'm going to make to take care of myself. How about you?
So this is something that's simple, right? Something that's effective as well. You're just saying one page,
Yeah,
you're not saying like 10 pages or something.
exactly.
So it's not like overwhelming for you either. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think for me, I'm going to sit with my thoughts from, let's say, 9 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And I'm going to try processing them, or I'll at least like write them down if I'm not able to process it.
yeah.
Someone said they're going to start journaling for half an hour. Okay.
Great. Thank you. Someone said yoga every morning 6:30.
Nice.
It's good. It's good that you're including timing.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to take a walk at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Great. So we can see a lot of commitments that you make, and we would love to see you guys in another workshop where we check in on you again. Or you can even message us on Instagram to let us know how you're progressing with taking care of yourself. Essentially, what we're trying to say is make self-care an uncompromised part of your day. It shouldn't be something that you do when you get time, something that you eventually get to whenever you feel like. It is an uncompromised part of our day. Just like we take meals to keep ourselves healthy, we need to take care of regulating our emotions and getting in touch with our emotions to keep our mind mentally fit and healthy as well. In all this commitment that you're making to yourself, we would like to stress on the importance of therapy as well. Many of us believe therapy to be a place where you just go and get solutions, or someone diagnoses you and say this is your childhood problem that you're dealing with. You're actually more messed up than you actually are. We are very scared of being diagnosed and being told that something is absolutely wrong with us, that we don't seek help. In reality, therapy is not a place where you're scared away or made to believe that you're incapable. It is a place where you're guided towards self-awareness and self-discovery. So a trained expert, someone who's qualified in psychology, is sitting there who listens to all of your issues and identifies that, oh, I can see that you have issues maybe communicating to people, being assertive, handling your relationship, or asking for things, or even other issues which might lead you to several other mental health disorders as well. But I'm going to catch that early for you, and let's work on it to make sure that you are a healthy individual. So basically, whatever we did in the workshop, someone is out there guiding you to it at a very, very personal level. And that person and you work together collaboratively to come up with goals that you can work towards a better mental health. So if you're thinking about taking therapy, it's basically just about talking to an expert on the problems that you go through, and they'll give you homework or techniques during the session that you use, which are very, very simple techniques, not too medical. They'll be very easy to do, cost-effective ways as well, in which you take care of yourself. So if you have any questions about therapy, don't forget to reach out to us on Instagram, messages here as well. We'll be happy to clarify. And our only objective is you find the help that you deserve to feel better about yourself and to feel resilient and equipped to deal with any stressor that comes your way. And on that note, we'd love to thank you for coming up today. Thank you for joining our free workshop. We want to do more of this, and this workshop will be available on YouTube as well. We would put out more information, and we love to see all the participants that joined today. Thank you, and take care of yourself.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.